Welcome. I am MotoristX and welcome to an edition of Lore Wheel Drive, where I talk about niche automotive lore, history, and subjects of the like. Today, I'll be sharing with you a brief history of Nissan Autech, and later on, we'll take a look at some of the greatest cars that they have ever produced. But before we dive into any of that though, I highly recommend subscribing to my channel if you'd like to learn more about automotive operations and automotive topics like this. I try my best to appeal to all different types of car enthusiasts, but with this series in particular, this is going to be for all you car enthusiasts who are going to be history buffs, spec nerds, or taxonomy masters. Essentially, if you love to classify cars, differentiate between all different types, or really understand and know the lore and meaning behind so many different nameplates in the car world, Lore Wheel Drive is going to be a series for you. Now, having said and gotten that all out the way, let us talk about Autech. So Autech stands for Automobile Technology, and it was one of Nissan's specialty car divisions for 35 years. It was formed in 1986 and was first led by a man named Shinichiro Sakurai, who was in fact the CEO of the late Prince Motor Company and the godfather of the Skyline nameplate. Under his leadership, Autech was set on bolstering Nissan products to the next level, but unlike Nismo and Impol, they didn't just stick to one or two domains of the automotive market. Ever since its inception, Autech has produced vehicles that have catered to the various interests held within the Japanese automotive market. From reliable delivery trucks to potent sports cars, Autech produced a variety of vehicles that have offered its buyers automotive tools to ease and spice up their daily lives. More specifically speaking on Autech's range, the vehicles have been built around performance, luxury, commercial, and life care interests and services. It's also worth noting that Autech has co-developed cars with both Nismo and Nissan's luxury brand Infiniti, and they've done so by producing various internal components and tuning setups for their respective divisions. Again, ever since 1986, Autech would produce specialized variants of Nissan products for the next 35 years, alongside other Nissan tuners Nismo and Impol. However, one thing that's kind of worth noting right now is that they were dissolved as a corporate entity in 2022, and it was actually during this year that Nissan decided to merge both Nismo and Autech into a new company called Nissan Motorsports and Customizing Company. Having said all this pretty much gives you a brief history of Nissan Autech. Now, as of lately, Autech hasn't really built anything noteworthy in my opinion, but that's okay to be honest, because they don't just focus on performance-oriented vehicles, which I normally like Nismo. However, throughout its lifespan, I will say that the company has developed some pretty interesting cars that have definitely been adored by many JDM enthusiasts like myself. And very shortly, we'll actually be taking a look at some of these examples as well. Before we dive into this gallery of models though, let me clarify a couple of things. Number one, cars are only going to be named by their year, company, model, and trim level. I'm not going to be using any generational codes, chassis codes, or sub-trim level names. Number two, some of the cars in this video might have multiple engine options available, but for the sake of this video, I only chose the specs for the option that was either the most popular or the one that had the most information on it. Number three, some cars also might have figures that just weren't publicly attainable. So for some of these cars, you will see that they will have data slots indicating that data just simply was not available. Number four, few of the specs that I do have in this gallery will probably not be 100% accurate. So for any really questionable specs that I had, what I ended up doing was taking similar cars of the same class and era compared to the car in question, and I basically took those numbers from those cars and I just pretty much estimated how well the car in question might be expected to perform just based on the numbers that I got from those other cars, both similar in class and similar in its era. And number five, taking into consideration the previous 4 points, I want you to understand and know that I have done my best to provide you with both accurate and precise information for all of the cars that are going to be listed in this gallery shortly. Now that I have given you a brief history over Nissan Autech, and now that I have addressed these side notes for the gallery, let us dive into the quirky machinery that are Autech. So guys, if you liked what you saw, go ahead and leave a like and consider subscribing to see more content like this. If you want to see me do this with another car brand, model, or type, comment down below which brand, model, or type you'd want to see me cover next. Again, I am MotoristX, and this was an edition of Lore Real Drive.